beautiful Tuesday in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, home of the reigning American League Central Division champs for the third year in a row. Back to work today for the Tribe as they host the Chicago White Sox in a three-game series here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. And so it begins, the final 13 games before the postseason begins for Cleveland. And a big step towards getting to October is getting things sort of rounded into shape, setting up the pitching. Corey Kluber will start tonight. Pretty much a foregone conclusion. He'll be your game one starter come October.
Yeah, he's pitched 7 days ago, and he's coming off a rough start where he only went an inning and 2/3. But Corey Kluber has been outstanding at home this year, 10-3 with a 2.05 ERA. 2 of those wins have come against the White Sox, where he pitched 13 innings, did not allow a run. He walked 1 and struck out 17. So he's looking to get back on track. And you look at the Cy Young candidates going down for the last couple of starts for everybody. I mean, they all have issues. Chris Sale is going to be up there, even though his innings are down. Garrett Cole's had a good year. Corey Kluber, maybe that last start hurt him. I think Blake Snell may be the leading candidate to this point. He's pitching tonight. He's looking for win number 20. And you can never forget about Justin Verlander.
I agree with your take on Snell. I think it's Snell, Verlander, Kluber. Those are the top 3. I discount Sale. I think injuries, whether they're, you can do anything about them or not, I think they knock him out of the running. I think those are the top 3, and it'll be interesting to see how the final vote comes out. We'll be back with tonight's first pitch between the Indians and the Chicago White Sox. Al has the showstopper, and Andre Knott has the very latest on Trevor Bauer. Straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Huba WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By Cleveland Clinic Express Care Online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits. And by St. Mary of the Woods, a faith-oriented senior living community in the heart of Avon.
for the cycle for the second time this year. And Yelich has been on quite a streak in his last 19 games. He's batting .375 with 8 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Not easy to hit 2 cycles in one season. Is he putting together an MVP push? He's hitting .318 now with 31 homers and 93 runs batted in overall. And if not for Christian Yelich, the Milwaukee Brewers would not be in the spot that they are currently in. Let's head upstairs now. Matt Underwood and Rick Manning have the call on tonight's game, and Christian Yelich looking pretty good for that MVP race in the National League. I guess there's a lot of races in the National League, guys, that still aren't settled.
Nobody's looking as good as you, Al. Pulling a lot of weight tonight out there. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job. Well, it is a beautiful night. There's still a lot to play for around Major League Baseball. Not necessarily for the Indians. We know that. They've clinched. They've wrapped it up. They have some internal issues that they want to get ironed out between now and the end of the season. One of those in particular has to do with Trevor Bauer. With more on that, we go down to our man, Andre Knott.
Well, what a sight it was to see Trevor Bauer out here on the mound facing hitters earlier today. At 3 o'clock, he jumped on the mound. He threw 3 basic innings. He pitched anywhere from 17 to 19 pitches per inning. He was able to face a couple batters. Roberto Perez did not catch him, but he talked to Roberto Perez in between pitches. Felt like his curve, as you see right there, and the slider were close to where it was at. The best thing that he told everyone was this: if Tito needs him, he could use him tonight. Now, that's not going to be the case, but hopefully in the next 24 to 48 hours, he'll have the doctors look over and scan him and hopefully be able to pitch possibly on Friday or Saturday of this week, and then twice on the road as the Indians are getting closer to being a healthy ball club.
Andre, does it surprise you in the least that he said he could pitch tonight?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so, yeah.
And he was smiling, but there was a serious tone of, if they let me, I'll do it.
Well, that's great to hear, Arch. I mean, I think he's a very important guy for this team in October.
I mean, there were a lot of eyes on him out there, and I was watching him too, and he had very sharp breaking balls. He was throwing the ball well. And if anybody can come back quickly, it'll be Trevor Bauer. No worries. Hopefully, he may be able to make a start. We will see. If not, they can certainly use him out of the bullpen, and that would be a welcome addition.
Well, Corey Kluber will start for the Cleveland Indians. He'll start tonight's game as he tries to get himself ready for what we hope will be a deep run into October, and Kluber is putting the finishing touches on another fantastic season. 18-7 with a 2.91 ERA heading into tonight's game. Let's take a look right now at our storylines brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Kluber's never gotten to 19, hard to believe, but he is seeking a career-high 19th win here tonight if he can hold off a game Chicago White Sox club.
No doubt. I mean, he'll be the first to 19 wins since Cliff Lee won 22. So he's looking for a career high. We'd love to see him get it tonight. He's pitched very well. He started 2 games against the White Sox here in this ballpark. He's won both of them. He went 13 innings. He walked 1, struck out 17. So it's up to him, and he'd like to rebound from his last start in Tampa Bay, where he really struggled in an inning and 2/3.
And you saw Carlos Rodon in the other dugout getting ready to pitch for Chicago. He's a left-handed starter, and the Indians have had their problems with lefties. You may have noticed on our Wayside storylines, they've lost 9 of their last 10 when facing a left-handed starter. Is that of any concern to Tito right now, do you think?
I would think so, yeah. The way they've been playing against them, they haven't been scoring. So I would think it's a little bit of a concern, and this guy's always pitched very well against.
You know you're going to see Dallas Keuchel in one of those postseason games for Houston.
Yes, you will. Well, I think right now anymore, we haven't been seeing a lot of them, but you got to go back, and hopefully they'll do well tonight. Corey Kluber will be the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Indians. And you can see it's his 31st start. He's record 18-7, a nice 291 earned run average in his career against the White Sox. He's 11-4 in 21 starts. So he's going to go out there and hopefully he'll be efficient. He'll be looking at a team at an offense without Abreu, their first baseman. He's not in there, and he's usually one of their best hitters. But, you know, in the division, you never know what can happen.
Well, let's take a look at the lineup that Corey Kluber will face. Without Jose Abreu, Yolmer Sanchez will lead it off. Tim Anderson in the 2-hole. Daniel Palka, who has swung the bat well, is the DH. He'll hit 3rd. Avisail Garcia will bat cleanup, then Omar Narvaez. Matt Davidson has decent power. He'll hit 6th. Ryan Lamar batting 7th. Yohan Moncada will hit 8th. And Adam Engel is batting 9th.
And the Indians defense rated 5th in the league. is brought to you by Ram. It'll be Brantley in left, Kipnis in center, Cabrera over in right. On the infield, Donaldson at third, Lindor at short, Ramirez at second, Alonso at first, and Gomes behind the plate. So it's their A lineup in there going at it tonight.
Mike McClinsky will call the balls and strikes. Mike Winters, the crew chief, is down at first. Ryan Blackney is at second, and Marty Foster at third. 78 degrees on a picture-perfect evening here in downtown Cleveland. Look at the flag hanging limp in center field. Not a whisper of a breeze here this evening. Corey Kluber ready to go. Needs 5 innings of work to reach the 200-inning plateau once again. First ball swinging. Adam Engel grounds it to Jose Ramirez. 1 down.
Well, for Corey Kluber, the distribution, you know he loves the 2-seam fastball to mix with that 4-seam fastball, but the cutter comes along very well. He loves to throw that cutter when he needs to throw a strike and he's behind in the count. 6% changeups, that'll come to the left-handed hitters, and that curve is, if it's breaking, it could be an awfully tough pitch to hit. And you won't be surprised if the White Sox go at him early because they face him all the time. Very dangerous when he gets ahead of you, and they know that.
Central Division foes in general are usually not happy to see Corey Kluber's name in the list of probables when they have a series against the Indians. This year he's gone 9-2 in 12 starts against Central Division teams, and his ERA is 2.36.
And I mean, that goes with the rest of the staff as well. I mean,
yeah.
Clevenger and Trevor Bauer, they all pitch well in the Central.
0-2 pitch. Tim Anderson quickly disposed of. 2 down.
Well, take a good look on our Nissan pitch tracker. There's the curveball right there, 84. He expands the zone. He started him off with a fastball. He took it because the first hitter swung at the fastball, and that was a couple breaking balls, and see you next at bat.
Daniel Palka, the DH, has hit 24 home runs. He's driven in 60 on the year.
Having a nice year for a rookie.
His 24 home runs lead the White Sox. Pops this one up to Jose Ramirez. And on 6 pitches, Corey Kluber cruises through the first. The Indians are coming to bat.
Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher, and he's a 25-year-old left-hander against the Indians. He'll be making his 4th start against them this year. He's 0-1 this season, 4-2 in his career.
They've got the big dogs in there tonight for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez at the top. Yandy Diaz in for Edwin Encarnacion, Josh Donaldson, then Melky Cabrera. Yonder Alonso, Yan Gomes, Jason Kipnis rounded out. Nothing serious or anything to be concerned about with Edwin Encarnacion. He rolled that ankle the other day, but this is really, Tito said if he can go out, take BP, do some running, he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Lindor reaching for it, slow roller to short. Tim Anderson has to hurry. It's a bang play, but Lindor is out number 1.
Let's take a look at the White Sox defense. That is the last rated team in the league. They're 15th, 107 errors for the White Sox. Lamar in the left angle is in center, Garcia over and right. On the infield, it's going to be Sanchez at third, Anderson at short, Moncada is at second, Davidson at first, and Narvaez behind the plate.
Michael Brantley. Brantley has been one of the top hitters in the American League all season long. He is 5th in the American League with a .307 batting average. And a ground ball to second baseman Yohan Moncada. 2 away.
For the Indians, batting third.
It's going to bring up Jose Ramirez. Ramirez has had his struggles of late, but Terry Francona, I thought, had a really astute observation where Ramirez is concerned and his struggles. He said it's not like he can't hit a particular pitch. He said he can hit a fastball, he can hit a breaking ball. He's just kind of caught in between because of the way teams are pitching him, and he said, look, Jose understands what they're trying to do for him. He's just in the process of trying to make that adjustment. But it's not like he's susceptible to a certain pitch.
Game of adjustments, that's what this is. And they know, I mean, he's proven to these teams, especially in our division, he has worn them out this year. They have to make adjustments, and now it's his turn to respond.
Smashed to short. Drives Anderson back to the grass, but he makes a good strong throw. And on 7 pitches, Carlos Rodon retires the Indians' own order.
your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Corey Kluber will go to work here in the second inning. Avisail Garcia. Leading off for the White Sox, 18 homers this year. Bangs one up the middle, but there to grab it is Jose Ramirez. One away. The injury report tonight is brought to you by the attorneys at Elkin Elk. I mentioned Edwin Encarnacion has the ankle injury. He's expected to be back in there tomorrow. Jose Abreu, though, boy, it's been a tough year for him. He had surgery recently, but just the other day, they came to Cleveland, and all of a sudden he woke up, something with his thigh. He has a hair follicle that developed an infection, and he is hospitalized currently with that infection. Now, they expect him to be just fine, but he will not play in this 3-game series, and they're hopeful that he'll be back in action when the White Sox go home Friday to take on the Cubs.
Well, that's strange.
Yeah, I mean, after everything he's been through.
Well, he's a good player, and he's always played well against the Indians.
And the thing about Jose Abreu, as Rick Renneria will tell you, he's been durable. He's played 145, 154, 159, and 156 games in his first 4 seasons. This year, only 128 games.
Yeah, well, you have years like that every once in a while. Some strange year for him. He got hot for a while.
In tight. Narvaez able to hold up.
Little cutter. That's the first out of the ball game that didn't come on 3 pitches or less.
Swung out and missed. Corey Kluber has his second strikeout. 2 down here in the second inning.
Batting 6 now for Chicago. The first baseman, number 20.
Well, he has good bite to that break, but there's his changeup, though. There's the changeup there that he throws to left-handers. It said he uses it 6% of the time, but he uses it well against the lefties.
Matt Davidson. One hop smash to Lindor. He'll one hop it to Alonso. And again, on just 6 pitches, Corey Kluber retires the side in order.
Leaders, you can grab a $15 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio or a $15 KeyBank Kids ticket. online only, and use the Ballpark app or go to Indians.com.
Leading off for the Indians here in the home half of the second is Yandy Diaz. And the Indians DH tonight takes a breaking ball for a strike. Swinging a foul back.
Carlos Rodon looking for his first win in the month of September. He has had 2 losses in his last start, a no decision. He was 3-0 in August, but had 2 no decisions. And one of those starts were against the Indians, where he threw 4 hits and no runs allowed and had a no decision.
The 1-2 pitch. Yandy Diaz spent most of the year at AAA, and he had a really good year. Hit .293 for the Clippers, 24 doubles. When he got called up on August the 12th, he was leading the International League in walks and on base percentage. 9th in batting average. He was tied for 6th in doubles. And while sometimes those numbers don't translate to the big leagues, they have for the most part. In the case of Yandy Diaz, he has swung the bat very well. We've seen the line drive stroke, the doubles. Even seeing him hit his first big league home run.
Yeah. Yes, he did, at a breaking ball out the other way.
Josh Donaldson. Takes down low, ball 1. Terry Francona said the plan for Donaldson is to get him to play in back-to-back games. Try to continue to build up the volume of work to the point where they don't have to think or worry about it anymore. So far, so good.
Well, and that's the key. I mean, as much time as he's missed, you have to get those 4 at-bats a day. That's how you knock all the rust off. And hopefully that'll start tonight. I think Andre said he's going to start playing every day now.
Yeah, I don't know if Terry went so far as to say every day, but he's definitely going to start playing back-to-back games and kind of build off of that.
Right. See how he feels on a daily basis. I understand that.
He'll be in the lineup tomorrow, Arch. That's what we'll go day to day.
Yeah, well, right.
Yeah. He's in today. He should be in tomorrow. And he also has a new elbow pad. Finally got a red one. He's got away from that Toronto Blue Jays.
All right. Draws a walk here, 4 pitches. And Andre, that's what you and I were talking about before the ball game, is that regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season going into October, his presence alone can just give pitchers pause to think, hey, I can't just get one over here against this guy.
You can't do that. But I mean, look at a guy like Yonder Alonso, who's in the hole or on deck right now. Makes it easier for him, makes it easier for everyone else. And where do you take a breath against this lineup when you have him hitting 5?
Now, this is another guy right here who has been a huge lift to this ball club. Melky Cabrera lines one down into the left field corner. It's a double. Around third, Josh Donaldson. He's going to try and score all the way from first, and he does standing. RBI double for Melky Cabrera. It's 1-0 Cleveland.
Well, Melky was going to jump him after the walk. He figures he's going to try and get ahead of him with the fastball. And that's exactly what he did. Once it gets down into the corner, that ball was not played very well by Lamar out in left field, and he overthrows 3 cutoff men, or the trailers. Here it comes. He gets it in. Now watch where this ball sails. They might have had a chance with Donaldson. See, he's figured he's stopping at third, but no. Sarball keeps him coming because of the way he played that ball, and you don't even see anything close at home plate. He missed all of his cutoff men. So Cabrera gets the RBI double.
I understand as an outfielder, you want to get rid of it quickly. But he got rid of it so quickly, it was like he wasn't even looking where he was throwing.
The shortest throw you have is down the left field line coming in, especially with a guy trying to score from first base. Just get it to your shortstop. Anderson has a great arm, and once he misses him, there's the trailer Moncada. It goes over his head. So there's nothing anybody could do. That's just not the way it's supposed to be done. And that's what you have to deal with when you're rebuilding. Things you have to address on a nightly basis.
Ryan Lamar in left field began the year with the Twins.
Looked like
Yonder Alonso with an RBI opportunity here in the second inning. He has driven in 79 this year for the Indians, and what a luxury to have a guy batting 7th. He's on the precipice of 80 runs batted in for the year. That's what Andre was just referring to with Donaldson, the ability to lengthen the line.
Yeah, exactly. That hit him on the hand?
Yeah.
Looked like it deflected off the bat, but I guess it got him on the hand. The right hand. He seems to be okay. Taking off the protection. It's a tight fastball. Yeah, it did catch him on that right hand. It looked like on the knuckles, the last 2 knuckles, where it deflected off. I don't know if it got any part of that bat, but it hit him in the hand first. So he'll take his base.
Kind of like when you were a kid and you get whacked on the knuckles by a teacher with a ruler.
That's when they were allowed to do that. Not allowed to do that anymore.
Rick Renneria might be challenging this.
Well, no, I think he wants the umpire to take a look, saying that maybe this hit the bat. It deflected off the bat instead of a. I don't think it'll be a challenge. I think it's going to be a request.
Crew chief review. That's what we're guessing. We'll pass along the information as it becomes available, but that makes sense.
Yeah, it sure does. Why not take a look at it? It's awfully close. And half the time we can't tell anyway when they look at it this way, if it's a foul ball or if it doesn't. I mean, let's really take a look at this. You know what? I might have hit him and then deflected off the bat as well. But I think it got his hand first.
No, they did challenge it, yeah.
Okay. So it is their challenge. This is a big challenge for them because it's the second inning.
These are so hard to get overturned
because it's tough to see.
It's very difficult. I mean, I don't even know if we had a super slow-mo angle, if that would even be good enough to tell.
Well, they're going to have to figure it out in New York, and it was awfully close. But they have a run in. He wants to stop that right now, and it could be a big play if it goes as a foul ball as opposed to getting hit. But you can tell when a hitter gets hit, how that hand comes off the bat. I mean, they show a reaction. And it's awfully quick here. He stays on first base, so call stands.
So that's it for the White Sox challenges. As you said, that's a tough early challenge in the second inning.
I think so. But when you're facing Corey Kluber, who you haven't scored a run off of now, this is going to be start number 3 this year. You figure I got to take my chances early.
So all of a sudden, after he cruised through the first 4 hitters, Rodon has thrown 10 balls, 10 strikes. He walked Donaldson with 1 out.
The walk set it up, and Milky jumped him.
Now Yan Gomes. Low and away, ball 1. That's where Gomes has made improvements by leaps and bounds, that patience.
Agreed.
He's batting over 300 in his last 30 games now.
And he's a guy that he will get a boatload more RBIs if he can remain patient with runners in scoring position. A lot of times that's where, you know, he really gets anxious and he wants to swing and get him in, drive him in so bad that he hurts himself. Now you're sitting in a hitter's count.
Rodon wants to know where that pitch was. That looked like a pretty good pitch, I have to admit.
Well, they're sitting inside. And, well, the catcher had to go the length of the plate, 17 inches, but it was still had the zone. It was still a strike. I think he looked at him the first pitch as well.
How about that 2-0 swing, and Gomes sucks it up the middle. Around third, Melky will score. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Gomes with his 44th run batted in on the year, and he stays red hot.
Well, that's very good. Even though that one pitch might have been a strike, and he was patient enough to take it. He got the count in his favor, and he came to his strength. He threw him a pitch down, and Gomes smoked it past Anderson. And that's at the lower part of the zone, and that's the strength of Yan Gomes. And you get one past that shortstop out there, he's got very good range. It's a good job, so they're taking 2-0 lead.
4 straight have reached.
Gomes' 44th ribby.
Then out Jason Kipnis. Ground ball to short. Anderson goes to second for 1. Moncada turns the inning-ending double play. Indians strike first. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 left. Melky Cabrera gets the party started.
Fans, be sure to download the free ballpark.
Progressive Field, located down in the corner in the district. So many great local food options to choose from when you hit the ballpark. And on a night like this, boy, this is just outstanding.
Yes, indeed. Continue it the rest of the year.
2-0 Cleveland on top. 3rd inning, Corey Kluber goes to work against Ryan Lamar. And a first pitch strike.
Well, he's thrown 6 pitches in the first inning, 6 pitches in the second.
A bit outside. This is Corey's third start against the White Sox. And to this point, 19 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2.
That's what makes him so tough. He can throw any pitch, whether it's the cutter, a curveball, a 2-seamer when he's behind in the count to hitters. And they think they're going to get a straight 4-seamer. That doesn't happen.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Kluber, 1 down here in the 3rd inning. And Rick, he can sense early on, if you're going to be aggressive, then I'm not going to throw you first pitch fastballs.
Absolutely. There's that little 2-seam fastball on the outer edge. He's not going to give in and throw you a 4-seamer. He rarely throws the 4-seamer. You know, he throws more 2-seamers and cut fastballs than he really does 4-seamers. And yeah, that's what you do. You talk to hitters, you go back and say, man, I don't know how that ball's moving back on the corner.
It's a look of utter despair right now.
Because he just threw him the breaking ball away on the 2-1 count that he went to swing at, and then the next one he gets him with the two-seamer coming back. So it's two different directions, east and west.
Yohan Moncada batting 8th tonight. Stroke to center field. A long run. Kipnis won't get it. It'll one-hop the fence. And Moncada glides into second base with a one-out double. First hit of the game for Chicago.
Yeah, he smoked that ball. I mean, it was on a line, and it looked like it fooled Jason a little bit.
So the White Sox have their first base runner, and we go downstairs to Andre Knott.
Well, before the game for first pitch, we had a really cool and touching moment. 4 years ago, 14-year-old Kendall Kim suffered a stroke from a rare vein defect in her brain called an AVM. Less than 2 years later, Josh Tomlin's dad, Jerry, was left paralyzed from the chest down after an AVM ruptured in his spine. The two worlds rocked by AVN, two families brought together in support of each other. Kendall has sent Tomlin's videos encouraging Jerry to keep fighting, while Josh has spoken out in support of Kendall's AVM Foundation, Kendall's Crusade. Together, they've inspired each other, and tonight they met for the first time here at Progressive Field, and Josh even had it set up for her to throw the first pitch. Just one of those moments that you won't forget if you were at the ballpark and able to see it.
Great story.
How awesome was that? Flipped the glove, fired it in there. Swing and a foul back. One pitch, swing and a miss. There's another example, though, of how a professional athlete can use his or her platform to help someone else, to reach out and help someone else. And in return, you could tell in that video how much that filled Josh Tomlin's heart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, things like that very special. Sometimes go unseen.
One ball, two strikes. Check swing foul. I mean, if Trevor Bauer doesn't make it back, I'm thinking Kendall might be a good option for Tito in the postseason. Look at this.
Yeah, she's thrilled about it too. Very neat.
One ball, two strikes. Runner at second, one out. Adam Engel, the 9th place hitter for Chicago. Swung out and missed, and Corey Kluber has struck out 4, first time through the order.
To the plate now for the White Sox.
And he gets him to chase that breaking ball. You see, it starts out a strike, but it disappears at the end. More of a cutter.
Back to the top of the order, Yolmer Sanchez. Grounded out his first time up to second base. In the dirt, smothered by Gomes. This guy's done a great job of getting on base for the White Sox. He has reached safely now in 30 of his last 32 games. He had a 22-game streak that ended 5 days ago. And by being able to get on base, whether it's by hit or walk, keeps your batting average up. He had a 10-game hitting streak back in June. And a ground ball to first will end the inning. Middle of the third. Corey Kluber has fanned 4 on the night. 1-hit shutout baseball through 3, 2-0 Cleveland. Hold true moment. Bottom of the third, top of the order for Cleveland. Francisco Lindor will lead it off. Leads the majors with 120 runs scored. Fouled back. Taps one right back to Rodon. One away. All right, tell us what's different about Carlos Rodon since we saw him last.
Watch his on the right-hand side of your screen in the gray uniform. His leg comes straight up. It's almost like where that toe's pointed down. And earlier in the season, in August, that leg's coming back, pointing towards second base. Almost, I think it helps him get on top of the ball a little bit better and keep the ball down. That changeup's been good. He's always had a very good slider. But even that first pitch he threw, it looked like something was different. But it's just coming straight up and going straight down as opposed to swinging it a little bit and having to catch up.
The minute you go back, you have to do something in order to catch up, don't you?
Got to compensate.
Yeah. Michael Brantley finds the hole on the right side. Dr. Smooth aboard with his first hit. It's the third for the Indians tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't go long without one, that's for sure. He's going to get a breaking ball, and he's going to find the hole. It was a slider. Didn't quite get it away enough as Michael was able to get the barrel head of that bat out in front and pull it over in a hole. So good swing. Third hit for the Indians.
Brantley hitting .350 in the month of September.
And always loved to hit in his home ballpark. Brantley a .332 hitter coming into tonight.
Jose Ramirez grounded out his first time up, but he hit the ball hard. It was a one-hop smash at the shortstop. Anderson knocked him back onto the outfield grass. And I think that's something you look for too, is the quality of the at bat. Hits will come. The more line drives you see off his bat, that's when you know he's getting close. Pops this one a bit to left. Lamar, 2 down. Our great clip of the game from Sunday. Yandy Diaz with a pair of hits.
First one was a 2-out base hit driving in a run. That one a double. He loves to go the other way. That approach, if you pitch him away and continue to do that, he's going to get you. He's going to wear you out and hit it hard to right.
Coming into tonight, he's hit .357 off lefties. I'm sorry, that was I was looking at Melky Cabrera. He's one up from Diaz. Diaz has actually hit righties better than lefties. And he slashes this one to deep right. And it's run down by Garcia. No runs ahead of man left. We've played 3. It's Cleveland 2, Chicago nothing.
The last dollar dog night of the season. You might want to come out early. $2 beers at the district. Stay after the game for a fireworks show presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets at Indians.com or use the ballpark app.
4th inning, 2-0 Cleveland. Tim Anderson will lead it off. Struck out his only time up. Corey Kluber gets ahead with a first pitch strike outside corner at the knees.
Yeah, we were talking about, you know, Ramirez and how you have at bats, but with all these hitters, they're both good pitchers out there tonight, and you want to get them early if they give you a pitch. And there's been some balls hit on the nose, even though they make outs on the first pitch. But 15 of the 19 outs have been on 3 pitches or less.
Well, and again, I think if you're a hitter and you've been watching Kluber early in this game, you've seen some swings where you go, oh, I don't want to look like that. So if I get one close, I'm try to swing early.
I'm not saying you have to swing at the first pitch and you're getting a fastball first pitch, but if you do and you're looking for a certain thing against him, which I would look fastball, and you get one, there's nothing wrong with going after it if that's what you're looking for.
Daniel Palka.
Because we see Kluber pitch every 5 days, and I'll tell you what, how many times is he 0-1? Most of the time.
That was a pretty good pitch. Didn't get the call. And that one's inside, 2-0. Moncada got to a 2-0 count, and then he was able to get a pitch that he could handle and hit the line drive double, the only hit that Kluber has allowed so far.
There you go. 24 homers. For Lee, with rookies, he has amazing power. We said that all year long. The first time we saw him play and he hit a home run, the sound that comes off his bat is a little different than normal people.
Well, the thing I remember too, and I want to say it was one of the games in Chicago. I mean, when he swings, he's not feeling for the ball. He lets it rip.
No, it's all or nothing. It's a new wave. He's a new generation kid. He's not. They don't care if you strike out, but they want you to swing. But he draws a walk. First one by Kluber tonight.
Well, Kluber was very carefully pitching him in tight. He was not going to give him any swinging room. It's almost like if you want to get yourself out, I'll let you do it here. Avisail Garcia grounded out his only time up.
Matt, Rick, the other thing I would say about Palka, isn't he the one that hit the walk-off homer and it wasn't even a strike? It was outside and he kind of flipped his wrist and hit it out the other way. He was a guy I know some of the pitchers just talked about. He's a different type of guy because he can hit balls
he's
out
strong.
of the ballpark. Yeah.
Well, that's what you prey on, and I think that's what Corey was looking for him to do, is maybe chase one out of the zone.
But I thought it was important that Matt said how he kept it tight on him and wouldn't let him extend those arms.
I don't blame him. And you know how Corey is. He knows if he walks him, then he's got to come right back here and get the next guy out, and he's 0-1. You know, Trevor Bauer's told you that, Andre. I think a guy's going to, he won't let him get a hit. If he walks him, fine. He'll come back and get the next guy.
Corey might be trying to set up a double play situation here too. Garcia grounded out his first time up. If he can get him to hit one at one of the guys on this infield, you got a great chance to turn two.
Garcia likes to take the ball in the middle other way too. But you can get him to chase the breaking ball. Andre, we're going to see what you were just talking about. You're right.
Up and away.
Out off the plate. And there's Brantley just going to watch it sail into the seats. Yeah, strength.
And a 1-2. Got him looking. And I mean, that was right there. Fifth strikeout for Kluber. Garcia had to be looking for an off-speed pitch here.
He was. He had to be. That's a two-seam fastball. You got to be looking for the slider to go the other way, and he just takes it, man. He's window shopping, and that's when you start thinking with a pitcher.
Omar Narvaez struck out swinging his first time up. Corey gets ahead as usual with that first pitch strike. And a ground ball to first. It's just foul.
Well, up to this point, he's had 5 0-2-1-2 counts, and he's had 5 strikeouts. This is the 6th. See what happens, what the outcome is here to Narvaez.
The 0-2. Had him reaching for it. Weak ground ball to Ramirez. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Middle of the 4th, 2-0 Cleveland. Red Cross provide meals and shelter to these families. Donate today by going to redcross.org or text Florence to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. We move on to the bottom of the fourth. Josh Donaldson will lead off. His walk led to the first of 2 Indians runs in the second inning. And the pitch is down low from Carlos Rodon. Trying to hold up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Got a little change up there.
Two and 1 to count. Donaldson watches one sail high and wide. 3 balls and a strike.
He was the one that got it started with 1 out in the second with a walk. Then they proceeded to get a couple of hits after 1 batter was hit.
Up high. So he has seen 9 pitches tonight, only 1 of them for a strike. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Indians have really been pretty judicious as far as their home runs. 101 at home, 100 on the road.
That's consistent.
Dodgers are right there with them.
Yeah, the big home run hitting teams.
Not surprising, the Yankees have hit most of their home runs at home. You got the short porch and right.
They probably have a few more on there if it wasn't for Judge missing all the time that he has missed.
Melky Cabrera, he ripped a double inside the bag at third, driving home Donaldson all the way from first base in the second inning.
You know, it's funny, he jumped on that first pitch after the first walk, so now being very patient here, taking a couple of pitches, making him get in the strike zone.
This could be 2. There's 1. And the White Sox turn the double play.
Second double play of the night for the White Sox. That's all you do with the Rodon when you're throwing 92 to 94. All of a sudden you take a little bit off and you get them to roll over on it, and there's your double play ball.
Yonder Alonso was grazed on the knuckles his first time up. And he promptly lines one over the head of Yolmer Sanchez, who was in on the grass at third. And the Indians have their 4th hit of the night.
Well, he stays on this pitch, which is very nice. He got the fastball and he sliced it the other way. Very nice. 2-out single for Yonder, so he's been on twice. 4 hits now for the Tribe.
Now Yan Gomes, an RBI single his first time up. Tom Bochenek says 3 of the 4 Indians hits have come on the first pitch, so they have been aggressively seeking fastballs against Rodon.
Absolutely, why not?
Threw another first pitch fastball, and Gomes got after it, almost picked off Andre down there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right at the shortstop Anderson. He'll go the short way and end the inning. 4 complete. Cleveland 2, Chicago nothing. Perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Cleveland on top 2-0. 5th inning of action. It'll be Matt Davidson, Ryan Lamar, and Yohan Moncada to face Corey Kluber. Kluber made 6 pitches in the 1st inning, 6 pitches in the 2nd inning, 14 in the 3rd, 14 in the 4th. Very systematic so far. He has fanned 5. He has given up 1 hit. He has walked 1. Matt Davidson grounded out his only time up. Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Better than 70% strikes thrown by Kluber so far tonight. And if you're a hitter and you know that, you're in trouble.
Well, he's over 70. That's excellent. But he's normally 65 to 70 every start he goes out there for his 100 pitches.
It's almost like on a night like this where he has proven that I'm going to throw quality strikes early, I'm going to get ahead of you. If you put it in the hitter's mind that, hey, moral victory, if I can just put the ball in play, as a pitcher, you got to feel like you've won the battle already.
Yeah, they're not going to sit back and try and take you deep. It's hard to do that. If you do, he'll just carve you up. He fought it off. Good piece of hitting right there.
It really is.
He came up and in with a fastball, and Davidson, he didn't go out and chase after that slider, and they thought they had him set up for a fastball in, and he fights it off, but he missed his location. You see where Gomes was sitting was down and away. He went up and in. That 2-seamer ran, but no harm right there.
So the White Sox have their leadoff man aboard for the first time. And Ryan Lamar to the plate. Interested to see this at bat because Lamar truly looked baffled his first time up against Kluber. Cuts one in on the inside corner for a first pitch strike.
Well, we see a lot of hitters talking to themselves when they have to face Corey Kluber.
And now it's 0-2. So the first pitch cut in, that one cut away.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about. He covers both sides of the plate, so the hitter can't sit really any one location.
No, it's tough because he'll never. Well, I won't say he won't throw you the same pitch twice, but he'll throw two different pitches. You know, one breaking one way, one breaking another, and then one going straight down.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out on 3 pitches, and that's 6 Ks for Kluber.
And that is 200. You got it, and that's number 200. There's that little cutter away. So 200 strikeouts for Corey Kluber.
200 strikeouts and 2 outs away from 200 innings pitched.
Well, we knew he was going to get that, or we certainly thought he would. So that's 3 of the 4 starting pitchers. Next one, Clevenger. He's only, I think, 4 away.
Swing and a miss. Clev is sitting at 196.
Yeah, 4 away. That should come in his next start, which will not be in this series. Be against Boston.
Clev was on the mound for the clincher, in which the Indians scored 15 runs. His biggest challenge in that game was just trying to stay sharp between innings. He had so much time to wait while the Indians were piling up runs early in that game against the Tigers.
Kluber just got his 200th strikeout this year. Yoan Moncada has Kluber beat. He's got 201 on the season. For a hitter, that's a lot of strikeouts. He has 535 at bats. And he's 2 for 2.
He hit that one hard. Both balls tonight off Kluber. He has really scorched.
He sure has.
So they have 2 on with 1 out.
I mean, he drilled the ball to left center the last time up. There's a little cutter. Speeds up his bat. He didn't get it in. And that's what happens. He finds the hole between first and second. So 3 hits now for the Sox, and Moncada has 2 of them.
And Adam Engel to the plate. Struck out his first time up.
Well, on the year, the White Sox against the Indians, they're hitting just 145 with runners in scoring position. They are 11 for 76.
That's one reason why the Indians have dominated the season series, winning 10 out of 13 and all 6 here at home.
Well, the pitchers, the Indians pitchers, they usually do dominate against Central Division opponents. You know, ERAs right around the 2 or less.
Two strikes to Adam Engel. Rick Renteria's young squad down 2. Here in the 5th inning, a chance to get right back in it. Engel is out on strikes. That's 7 now for Kluber. T-Mobile, built for baseball. Take a look at some of the strikeout work of Corey Kluber tonight. He fanned 4 first time through the order, 3 second time around.
Yeah, I mean, you just continue to watch the movement, the 2-seamer, the curveball. The ball is just never on plane. It's always moving. It's late movement. Everything comes out of the same arm slot. You say it start after start.
3 of his 7 strikeouts have been on just 3 pitches.
They were thinking about it, and I mean, when you see the strikeouts, look at the pitch count though. He's in the 5th inning with 55 pitches.
Weak ground ball to first. This should get him out of the inning, and it will. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Halfway through, 2-0 Cleveland. Ohio or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. There is Cookie, who will make the start tomorrow night. Jason Kipnis leads off the bottom of the 5th. And Rodon's fastball moves him back off the plate.
I think Rodon realizing that the Indians are aggressive on his first fastball too, so you got to make a quality pitch.
Three and 0. Just caught the outside corner. Kipnis, right field. Garcia back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Jason Kipnis, home run number 16, and it's 3-0 Cleveland. Boy, he just sat back and waited, said, hey, it's 3-1. You got to come to me here. He did, and Kipnis was waiting for it.
And the patience paid off. That was a really good at bat. You know, he fell behind. Rodon did 3-0, and Kip said, "Okay, 3-1." That was a good fastball, but then here comes the 3-1 pitch. Boom, middle inner third, and he turns on it. So he was waiting for it. Had a good look at 4 or 5 other pitches before that. So he adds one more. It's a 3-0 Tribe lead. 14th home run allowed by Rodon.
Of his 16 home runs this year, 4th of them have come against left-handers.
Well, that was an excuse me foul ball.
Francisco Lindor 0 for 2 on the night, has grounded out twice.
You know, you look at Kipnis's numbers, and everyone's saying, you know, he's had a bad year. Well, he's got 16 homers. He's got what, 68 RBIs now. 26 doubles. 7 stolen bases. So the numbers are really nice in that spot.
Lindor beats it out, hustling down the line. That was almost a spectacular play by Tim Anderson. Man, you're not kidding, Arch. That guy covers some serious real estate out there.
He sure does. When you get a ball by him, I'm telling you, you earn it. He has outstanding range, and look at him. He gets it, and he's got to spin and get rid of it. And he just didn't have the ball cleanly. It'll go as a base hit and an error. But I'll tell you, he made Frankie run hard. He's a shortstop you talk about in the American League. You don't talk a whole lot about, but he can cover some ground.
Michael Brantley 1 for 2. Ground ball first. Oh man, it took a wicked hop on Davidson. He stayed with it. Might have a bruise to show for it later, but that's the first out of the inning. Take another look at the home run by Jason Kipnis on StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
3-1 pitch. Made sure he had the barrel head of the bat out front.
Infield in, Jose Ramirez tried to hold up, but he went too far. You know, to your point, Arch, about Jason Kipnis.
Yeah.
People saying, well, he's had a bad year. If he was with the White Sox, he'd be second on the team in runs batted in.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's unbelievable. They think he had such a bad year. Look at the numbers, man. They're not that bad. Sure, his average is down a little bit, but hey, average is overrated nowadays. Always has been.
Matt, Rick, I got to tell you, that's exactly what helped get him going. He finally had to talk and he started looking at his doubles, his RBIs, his home runs, and he realized, okay, the batting average isn't what I like, but I'm doing everything else all right. So just think about that.
Yeah, focus on something positive.
But you know what? Think about how long it took him to get over it. And he's a veteran. He knows, you know, what it takes to get through a whole year of a baseball season. But I'll tell you what, he's worked hard, he's battled, and now there's no looking back. Now he's in the outfield, so he's got to hit with more power, he feels.
2-1 pitch to Ramirez, and it hit him.
Ouch. Right on the elbow.
Oh, man.
He couldn't get out of the way of that one.
Oh, that is not good.
No. He's in some pain right there. I don't know if that might have caught him right on the funny bone or whatever, but he's in some pain.
He's pointing to the elbow. It hit him right on the elbow, and he is in a lot of pain.
I would not be surprised to see him just leave the game, put Gonzo in, and go play second base. At all. They're going to give him some time to let the pain subside. And you know Jose, he's not going to say I want to come out. He's just going to let that thing settle down and he'll go to first base. That's he's a gamer. Take a look at it. He brought that in. It looked like it got him a little above the elbow.
Yeah, sure
there,
did.
Matt.
Yeah.
I thought it caught him right on the elbow. It was a little just above it, about a ball width up. But he was pulling it in to protect his ribs, and maybe that might be better than getting it in the ribs.
Second hit batter for Rodon, though the first one, Alonso, he just barely grazed Alonso with a pitch back in the second inning. So first and third, one out, and Yandy Diaz the batter. Ramirez takes off, and he'll steal that one uncontested. That's his 33rd stolen base of the year.
Well, that's what you do. He hit you, okay, I'll steal second base, and he did. And it was nice because Narvaez couldn't get the ball out of the glove. He has to look at third base. Maybe they weren't even throwing through because Moncada didn't look like he was covering. So they were giving him second. You take it. See if Diaz can pick him up now, both of them.
Pop back foul out of play. I thought this was an interesting note. We may have already talked about it, but when you have the kind of seasons that Ramirez and Lindor have had, some of the numbers, they tend to kind of blur together. But Jose, no one since 2012 has had a season of 30 homers, 30 steals, 100 runs batted in, and 100 runs scored. Brian Braun was the last to do it in 2012.
Oh, boy.
Yandy Diaz just ropes one into right field. That'll play to pair. And it's 5-0 Cleveland.
How about that shot? Their infield's coming in to try and cut the run off at the plate. And I mean, he just hits a bolt past Moncada. And that is the way he is set up. Take it the other way. So with the base hit and error, a hit batter, a stolen base, and a big base hit makes it a 5-0 game.
Remember how you went back and illustrated that the ball that who was it now? Was it Moncada? Didn't get it in, or was it Davidson? I think it was maybe Davidson. Didn't get the pitch where he wanted it.
Right, inside.
Rodon, they were set up in, came back over the plate, gave Yandy that swinging room. And if you do that to him more times than not, he'll make it.
He's going to hurt you because he's trying to shoot everything that way. You better get it in on him.
Donaldson skies one to third. Is that also why Diaz has a better average against right-handed pitchers as opposed to lefties?
I think he likes the ball going away from him. Yeah, absolutely. Now let's check
where
the
they
pitch.
want it.
Look, they wanted it to come in. Now, is this a cutter or just a regular fastball? That's a breaking ball. And they didn't get it in. So that's right in his wheelhouse. If it gets in, he may jam it. He may roll over on it, depending if it's slowed down enough.
Sometimes as a pitcher, if you just missed your spot by a little bit, it can.
And you can get away with it sometimes where they may hit at it. I mean, the infield was in there, so there's no room for error there because it was shot by Moncada.
Melky sends a towering pop to left. Lamar makes the catch. The Indians blow it open here. 3 runs home in the 5th. It's 5-0 Cleveland. furniture. This is impressive, man. You talk about year in, year out consistency. Corey Kluber and Max Scherzer. They're the only ones to hit 200 innings, punch out 200 in each of the last 5 seasons.
Yeah, and both are multiple Cy Young Award winners.
Scherzer's actually done it in the last 6 seasons. As this ball's lined to center, right at Jason Kipnis, 1 down. But the bottom line is, it is comforting for a pitching coach and for a manager to know you can write this guy's name down and he's going to get you 200 innings. He's going to make you 30+ starts. And at the end of the day, he's probably going to be in double digits in wins.
And probably in the race for the Cy Young Award. You know, I talked to Corey after his start in Tampa last week, and it didn't go the way he wanted it to. And I know when he doesn't have a great start, we all question, how does he feel? What's going, you know, we always think the worst. And I asked him about the Cy Young and what he would tell Blake Snell. And he said, keep doing what you're doing. He goes, if you got into this part, don't change who you are. He goes, I'm not going to change what I do in my next start. I'm going to go back to the board and do what I've always done, and hopefully that's the best. He goes, if I win the award, awesome. If I don't, awesome. I'm just here to try to help my team win. And he said they would tell Blake Snell or anyone else that's in the running for the Cy Young Award, don't change who you are in September.
Well, Blake Snell is pitching tonight.
He got into that one. Palka deep into the lower deck in right field. His 25th home run of the season. It breaks up the shutout and gets the White Sox on the board. It's 5-1.
First run they've scored against Kluber this season in his 3rd start. And you wonder why he was trying to tie him up the time before, pitch him inside. That is the reason why right there. He got a breaking ball from Kluber, and I mean, listen to the sound. Boom. Oh, man. He smoked it.
24th home run allowed by Kluber this year. Right at Lindor. 2 down.
I want to send along a very special happy birthday, 100th happy birthday, to a lifelong avid Indians fan, George Chanter of Parma Heights. One of his favorite memories was listening to Rocky Colavito hit 4 home runs in 1 game against the Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, yeah.
So, George, happy birthday to you. Also, June Russell turning 92 today. Happy birthday to you, June.
I remember the late great Nev Chandler told me that he remembered listening to that game on the radio when Rocky Colavito did that.
I think he had a chance to hit 5 in that game. They had a double off the wall.
Rocky Colavito probably was, for that generation, their Frankie Lindor. I think every kid who listened or watched the innings, they were Rocky Colavito fans. That's hit pretty well. Deep right back is Melky. He won't get it. That's gone too. 2nd home run of the inning for the White Sox, and only the 8th this year for Omar Narvaez. But I think Corey found that left-handed hitter's nitro zone.
Well, they were both hit very well. They're both solo shots, so 2 swings of the bat, and the White Sox have cut into the lead.
This was the old down and in pitch.
There you go. Down and in right into his wheelhouse. You can tell the sound, you know, when it's going to get out of the ballpark. You can almost just listen and say, okay, you can call what the hit it's going to be.
So the White Sox, with a pair of solo home runs here in the 6th inning, get on the board. But up until this inning, Corey Kluber had simply carved him up, striking out 7 in 5 shutout innings of work. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count on Matt Davidson. just a bit outside.
Surprised they didn't ask a little quicker than normally they do. Not to say that he swung, but anytime you move that bat a little bit forward, they usually ask.
That time he went. They appeal. Good night.
I think Gomes helped talk him into it.
8 strikeouts for Kluber. White Sox get on the board. It's 5-2 Cleveland.
Freeze pops, chips, and nacho cheese from 5 to 8. Late game starts at 7 o'clock.
Yonder Alonso leading off for the Indians here in the home half of the 6th. Alonso hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, and then he lined one over the head of third baseman Yolmer Sanchez in the 4th. Takes a fastball, 1-2 to count. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the night, believe it or not, for Rodon.
Now stepping in for the Indians, number.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott with you here at Progressive Field on a beautiful warm evening, 78 degrees at game time. Indians scored the first 5. White Sox have answered with 2 of their own. Yan Gomes drove home a run his first time up. Here is Avisail Garcia making the catch in right field for out number 2. Mid-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It started in the 2nd. Melky Cabrera ripped a double down the left field line. Josh Donaldson scored from first. And then Jason Kipnis with a solo home run in the 5th made it 3-0. Yandy Diaz then punched a 2-run single through the right side of a drawn-in infield to make it 5-0. Before the White Sox got on the billboard with a pair of solo homers in the 6th. Carlos Rodon on 6 pitches retires the Indians 1-2-3 here in the 6th. 5-2 Cleveland. visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Back here at Progressive Field, where the Indians have a 5-2 lead over the White Sox. Greg Allen now takes over for Jason Kipnis in center field. And that looks like the only change at this point. Ryan Lamar to lead off the 7th against Corey Kluber. He has struck out twice. And that is 12 straight first strike pitches for Corey Kluber. In other words, 12 hitters in a row he's thrown a first pitch strike.
Yeah, 0-1 down in the count if you're the hitter.
That's right there inside the line off the sidewall. And into second base with a leadoff double is Ryan Lamar.
Well, he's been trying to go that way. I think that time he caught a fastball and he was able to align it. He was getting a lot of breaking balls out there, and he tried to curry that two-seam comeback fastball. But that's a pitch to his liking right there, and he was able to keep it fair and shoot it into right field. So he gets a double. 2 doubles and 2 homers now for the Sox. So they get their leadoff man aboard again here in the 7th inning.
Yohan Moncada. He is 2 for 2. He doubled and singled. And both times up, he has hit the ball hard. And I think what we have seen tonight is sort of the elation and the frustration that White Sox fans probably in particular have had with Moncada. He came with, high expectations.
Right.
There's a lot of potential there. You see it at times, but over the course of the whole season, not enough consistency to this point.
Yeah, right. It is early. Signed for a lot of money over in the Red Sox organization. And, will he be able to make the adjustments as his career goes on is going to be the point, because he was very highly touted, and he was, they called the #1 prospect in all of baseball.
Right at Lindor, took a look to third base, but he'll get the sure out at first. Lamar reaches third base. 1 away.
Well, postseason baseball is right around the corner. When you purchase 2019 season tickets, you'll receive access and potential to 2018 postseason games here at Progressive Field. You can place your deposit today to secure your place at Indians.com.
Moncada, by the way, just turned 23 in May. 1 out for Adam Engel. He's 0 for 2, has struck out twice tonight. And he chases one in the dirt.
I don't know. That was weird because Donaldson took off.
I noticed that.
And I don't know if it affected Engel, but he was swinging no matter what with that guy on third base, and he really helped out Kluber there.
Chases another one. It's 0-2.
Almost looked like he's predetermined. He's going to swing there and try and get that run in from third. That's where the patience of young hitters, and it's 2 pitches in a row. I can see one. Then you got to say, okay, I got to make him get it up. But he's chased 2 in a row down there. There's no sense in trying to throw him anything else, is there? You just have to make sure Yan Gomes is able to block it if you throw another one in the dirt.
Swung out and missed. He struck him out. He has struck Engel out 3 times tonight on a total of 11 pitches.
Yeah, this was and he got himself out. He didn't throw him 1 strike in this at bat, and he's walking back to the dugout now for the 3rd time.
And so 2 down. That runner still at third base, and Yolmer Sanchez to the plate. He is 0 for 3. off the plate. Three-0 pitch. This one might have been a bit generous.
Yes. In other words, he's saying, well, you didn't want to swing at it, but he did give him a break. Called it.
Sanchez swings at this one and lines it to deep left. It's over Brantley's head and one hops the wall. White Sox get another run and a big 2-out RBI double for Yolmer Sanchez. Makes it a 5-3 game.
And right now, Sanchez is very grateful that he did call that a strike, because it gave him another chance to swing the bat. He lined a double of left center field and drove that ball nicely. So a pair of doubles in this inning. They have the tying run now coming to the plate here in the 7th inning. They have 7 hits on the night. Same amount the Indians have.
Sanchez now has reached safely in 31 out of his last 33 games. Gives Tim Anderson a chance to bat. With 2 down, he's 0 for 3. Upstairs with it. The 1-1. Fouled back. This is the White Sox 75th game on the road this year. They've already played 75 games at home. They're a little bit better on the road than they are at home, which is unusual, especially for a young team. 28 wins at home this year. 31 have come on the road. You look at a team like the Tigers, for example, 36 wins at home, just 25 on the road.
Yeah, most young teams, they're better at home. They feel better, I think. They feel more confident.
Strike 3 call. That will end the inning. Corey Kluber has 10 strikeouts on the night. It's now Cleveland 5, Chicago 3. 4th. The Blue Jackets will drop the puck against the Detroit Red Wings. Just 16 days until the first game of the hockey season on Fox Sports Ohio. Home half of the 7th inning, and Francisco Lindor leads off. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Not many games do we see going into the bottom half of the 7th. The same 2 starters are in there.
This is only the 2nd time in his 18 starts that Carlos Rodon has allowed 5 earned runs in a game. The only other time it happened was back on June 30th down in Texas. He has really come back nicely.
Yeah, he has. He had shoulder surgery. He never made his first start until June 8th, or excuse me, June 9th this year. And boy, when he's come back, they eased him. He made his 2nd start against the Indians. His first one was against Boston and pitched real well. But this is a quality left-hander. There's no doubt.
Yeah, and because, as you said, shoulder surgery, that's not a slam dunk.
No, it takes a little while longer to come back from that than the Tommy John, I think. But he's throwing the ball well and has this year.
2-2. Down low.
Lindor had one of his 8 leadoff home runs against this guy back in Chicago on June 14th.
Frankie draws a leadoff walk.
Start dead batteries with NOCO.
Michael Brantley will bat with the leadoff man aboard. Action in the Chicago bullpen. Though Rodon, as you see, is just at 80 pitches. He's been very efficient tonight. Brantley swings at the first pitch. Popped to right field. Garcia. 1 away. Carlos Rodon was the 3rd overall pick in the draft 4 years ago. And the White Sox hadn't drafted anybody that high in the draft since Big Harold Baines, who was the 1st overall pick back in 1977. So obviously, you spend a pick as high as 3rd overall in the draft. You want to get him to the big leagues as quickly as possible, and that's exactly what the White Sox did.
Well, they didn't miss on Harold.
No.
I don't think they missed on this guy either.
They're going to call him out.
Oh, he came up off the bag.
He was safe. He had the bag stolen, but somewhere in the process, the umpire,
he stayed with it.
Ryan Blackney, watched it all the way through, and he saw Lindor come off the base at some point.
Now, if he was safe, does that go as a stolen base or no?
No, because he never called him safe.
Oh, okay.
He didn't make the call, but I mean, he's got it. Look,
he's
hands in there. He's safe
easily.
But at some point,
now, see if his hand comes off.
Right there.
See, there's nothing on the base. They're going to challenge it, but he was.
Now maybe that hand stays on. It's gliding over, but
I think it's off the backside of the base by the time the foot comes on, and that's what they're going to challenge. This will be a view here. Is there any contact with the base once it goes over it? No. Well, oh boy. Maybe right in the corner. I mean, this is not what.
This is my platform. This is my soapbox that I've been talking about. And Mike Barnett and I had a conversation about this. He doesn't think that you can change the rule because it would just open Pandora's box.
Sure.
But this is not in the spirit of the rule where you have the bag stolen and you come off in the process of just.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but that's what they're taught. That they're taught. Look at Moncada taking a throw. He's going to keep the tag on him like you're taught to do now.
And the umpires, they watch all the way through, and it did look like Lindor's hand came off the bag. Lindor's talking to the pitcher about it.
Yeah.
I think the call will stand.
My point is if you slide past the bag, if you lose contact with the base, and then you're okay, great, I have no problem with that. But if your back foot stays with the base, that I have a problem with that part of the replay system. It's a bug in the system. But until they take a look at the spirit of the rule, that's what you have to challenge. If you're in that replay situation, if you're that guy for Chicago, hey, he's off by a fraction of an inch, we got the tag on him, you've got to challenge.
Yeah. Confirmed. He was out.
That's at least the second, if not the third time we have seen that happen to Lindor. Where he has stolen a base and he has come off by a fraction of an inch at some point in the process.
Well, you've got to find a way to stay on the base.
Ramirez chops it to third, and just like that, the inning is over.
Those 3 runs, but has 10 strikeouts as he has surpassed 200 strikeouts this season. Hey, make sure you join me for Indians Live right after the game. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. We'll talk about Corey Kluber's performance. We'll hear from the manager, Terry Francona, and much, much more. We'll talk to you then. Matt and Rick, take it away.
Thanks, Al. Corey Kluber goes back out here for the 8th inning.
Kluber tonight with 15 outs on 3 pitches or less, and he got out of the chute and was very good that first time through, but Rodon has 18. So they've been aggressive. They both that's why they're staying this late in the ball game, and that's the first time that 2 starters have gone 7 innings in the same game. You got to go back to September 12th against Tampa with CC and Snell, the left-hander. They both went 7 in that game.
Fastball strike to the outside corner. Daniel Palka. With the White Sox on the board with a home run in the 6th. Andrew Miller getting hot in the Cleveland bullpen. Swung on and missed. Oh, he went down and in. That was nasty. And that's 11 strikeouts for Kluber. Our Miller Lite hold true moment. Corey Kluber
Well,
getting another 10 strikeout game. Make it 11 now for the Indians, and they have had a boatload of those.
28 this year
as a team.
28 double-digit strikeouts. And that sets a new record for them. They just continue to add to it. It was Bieber that had 11 in his start down in Tampa the last time. Kluber tonight.
Corey's 45th career, 10 strikeout games, 6 times he's done it this year. And you know, even though he's eclipsed the 200 strikeout mark, Rick, there were a number of starts this year where you could say that Corey was just kind of efficiently getting deeper into games. Strikeouts were down, but he was pitching deeper and better.
Yes, well, he has 23 swings and misses so far tonight. And that's when the strikeouts come, especially when you're in front.
1 and 2.
And we mentioned the White Sox have been able to score on Kluber tonight. That was the first time in his 3 starts. He was going 13 innings. So he'll have 20 innings now against them, 20 and a third. And he's only given up 3 runs on this year. And all of his starts have come right here in this ballpark where he has pitched very well, 10 and 3.
Broken bat roller to short.
Take it.
2 down. All time, the Indians and Astros both have done it 28 times this year.
Well, those Diamondbacks, they had the big lefty and the big righty.
Johnson and Schilling.
And those 73 Angels had Nolan Ryan and Frank Tanana and Singer and a few other guys.
You know, the other thing too, Corey Kluber, 5 straight 200 strikeout seasons. You realize only Sam McDowell has a longer streak in Indians history.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up in there with Feller, McDowell, I mean, that have been around forever.
I mean, the only thing that stopped Feller's streak was World War II. Otherwise, he would have had more than just 4 consecutive seasons of 200 punch-outs. But still, if you just want to say it's Corey Kluber, Bob Feller, and Sam McDowell, that's pretty doggone good company when it comes to the strikeouts. Rapid Robert. Now the 0-2. A little bit outside. '99th pitch of the night. And Narvaez with a bloop to right center will fall for a hit. And he's 2 for 4.
Yeah, Narvaez with the 2-out home run. His last at bat gets a 2-out single here. And, you know, Kluber in the first 5 innings, it only took him 10 pitches to get the 3rd out of that inning. But they've been battling ever since at the 6th inning where they've been able to score, the 7th, and now this inning with 2 outs. There's, you know, they're prolonging that inning a little bit.
Well, as you said, it's rare to see 2 starting pitchers both pitch this deep into the same game, and it's also rare for a lineup to see a guy 4 times.
Yep. Well, they've both thrown strikes. They've both given up home runs, but they're around the plate. This has been a nice matchup tonight.
And that's something that, you know, Corey Kluber could certainly do. You could say that about every pitcher on this Indian staff. Carrasco, Clevenger, Trevor Bauer, Shane Bieber. They could figure out, and they would figure out, how you make those adjustments when you face a lineup 4 times a game. It's just they rarely have the opportunity to do that.
Right. Anybody does nowadays. It's rare that a starter will see a lineup unless he's just lights out.
Yeah.
You know, in that game. And how often does that happen when you go through? Let's say you're one of the top-notch starters. 33 starts a year, 34 starts.
So doesn't it stand to reason, though, in this day and age, because of the way the game's played, if you see a guy 4 times, the advantage probably swings more to the hitter than it does to the pitcher.
I would think so.
Because the pitcher doesn't.
It better if you're going to make an adjustment, because if he's already gotten you out 3 times, that's why you're up there for the 4th. But yeah, with the bullpen use now the way it is, no question. And the score will dictate that now a little bit more. We can you trust Corey Kluber when he's at the 100 pitch mark, even though he gives up a 2-out base hit, the tying run comes to the plate. You can trust him. He's proven I can pitch in these situations.
Low and away, 3-1.
And he's just being a little more careful now.
Davidson has good power. He knows that.
Right, and you know you can't make a mistake here. I mean, because he can take you out to right center, to left field. He's got very good power all over the ballpark.
The guy on deck, he has struck out twice tonight, though Lamar did double off Kluber his last time up. Andrew Miller is ready in the bullpen. 3-1 offer. And he walks him.
And I think he was looking at who was on deck, and they're going to get a pinch hitter. No, he's going to the plate. So he's going to face Lamar one more time.
Carl Willis will go out and talk with Kluber. Not that Miller needs any more time to get loose. He's hot. He is ready.
Absolutely.
This is more a case where perhaps Carl wants to give Corey Kluber just a
little breather.
And, you know.
Yeah. He was going to be careful there. That guy, if he can tie the game, you're not going to give in. If you're going to miss, you're going to miss off the plate. It's really simple there, especially in the 8th inning with the game on the line. They know they're going to go after it, and they got it. They're on the same page. Here we go. Now they've been able to attack Lamar with breaking balls away. He's chased. The one time they threw him a fastball away, it was that two-seamer that come back. He was able to line it down the right field line. He won't see a fastball away in this at bat. That was the comebacker. And Lamar in his 3 at-bats, he's seen 9 pitches. 8 of them have been strikes, and he swung and missed 3 times.
Attacking the first pitch. It's going to go foul.
I like that. Could have stayed fair. He had his foot on the base. He was acting like a first baseman.
'73 strikes thrown by Corey Kluber on the night. Lamar calls time and steps away. Rick Renneria has seen his club battle back from a 5-run deficit. Now they have the go-ahead run at the plate. 0-2.
Well, that time he got a fastball, and he had to be looking for the breaking ball.
19,277. Looking to see if Corey Kluber can get out of this mess here in the 8th. The 0-2. A ground ball to Lindor. He'll go the long way, and the inning is over. Corey Kluber, 11 strikeouts on the night, 5-3 Indians. Kluber is in line for a career-high 19th win this year. And the Indians trying to snap a trend that has been ugly of late, losing 9 of their last 10 games against left-handed starters.
Yeah, the only left-hander they beat in those last 10 games was Danny Duffy.
Well, as you take a look at Nate Jones, who's the new pitcher, Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen made here in the 8th inning. Nate Jones on for the 30th time this year. He's been very reliable when he's been able to be used by Rick Renneria this year.
This guy's sort of awkward the way he comes at and throws you. It's tough to pick up. You see that picks that arm up, and he can get it up there at 98. He's a big guy, throws hard, but the key is throwing strikes for Nate Jones.
Not to make excuses for the Indians, but you do have to point out that of those last 10 games they've had against left-handed starters, some of those got twice against Blake Snell of
yeah, good pitcher, right?
You know, Cy Young candidate David Price. He was really good in Boston when they saw him. So they've had some tough lefties.
Well, even when you say it's not that the left-hander gets the wins, it's if they start a game and you lose that ball game, it goes against it. And they have had a couple of left-handers that went 4 1/3 innings and something like that, and they just never got the win. So, but you're right. Some of the ones that beat them, they pitched a gem, and they're very good left-handed pitchers, no doubt.
Yandy Diaz lays off that high fastball, 3-1. On a play right side. Astros shutting out Seattle at home 4-0. Boston leads New York 1-0. They are in the bottom of the 7th in New York. Red Sox win. They are the champs of the AL East.
That's Evaldi who's making a start. Remember, he pitched a gem against the Yankees earlier this year. He was throwing a no-hitter for quite some time. He's shutting them down again tonight. That's a good at bat. Very good at bat.
Now Josh Donaldson's coming to the plate. He's walked twice. He's scored a run, and Andre Knott had some good observations down low.
These next 2 weeks, the test for Josh Donaldson will come in a variety of ways. Tonight, a big one was going from first all the way home. He told me when he was coming around third, he looked at Sarby and he thought he was going to stay, and right there you see it. He had to turn it back on, but that's a good thing for what that calf has been going through and what he's dealt with. He says he felt great coming back. He said otherwise he would have walked back to the dugout, but he was glad he had that opportunity to go from first to home, because that's another test that he has to go through.
That is true. And I mean, that's something where a third base coach, you have to make your decision by watching that outfielder. And when he saw the ball go over the cutoff man head, he said, keep going, boy.
Rajay Davis running for Yandy Diaz at first base.
See if Jones get a kind of move.
Smack to left.
Boy, that was hammered.
I'm not sure if Lamar caught it or it caught him, but that's out number 1.
Well, he didn't. It was right in line, man. There was nothing he could do but catch that ball. He jumped on that first pitch, and he looked pretty quick to home plate for a big guy. Got that glove out and got the ball into his catcher, and it went out as fast as he threw it in.
105 off the bat. That's what you call a vicious line drive. Here's Melky Cabrera. Swings at that first pitch, and that was a high fastball. Fouled back.
That's the thing. If you can zero in on Nate Jones, he does throw hard, 97, 98. If you look in your zone,
There goes Raj. Now he put the brakes on, and almost a throwback to first by Narvaez.
Well, they know he's in there for one reason, and that's to run. And this guy's quick to the plate, and you almost have to time him, because he gets rid of that ball quickly and it gets to the plate quickly, so the catcher's going to have a good opportunity. I don't care what kind of jump you get.
Nate Jones just has that unusual, he almost cocks the ball behind his head before he lets it go. Yeah.
Almost like Rick Sutcliffe used to come up and cup the ball. How about that? But his used to be down here when he'd cup it. Oh boy.
Sock to deep right. Back goes Garcia. Makes the catch on the warning track. Again, there's a case where Melky hit it so hard he didn't have enough launch to get it up out of here.
I'll tell you what, the last two balls have been hit by both Donaldson and Melky very hard, right on the nose, but they're outs. Another good swing on another fastball. I thought it was going to get over his head as soon as it left the bat, but Garcia right there to track it down. They said you can't hit a ball harder than that. Line drive right to the wall. Just don't get under it.
And that's why those outfielders are positioned and move, and it may only be a couple of steps to your left, a couple of steps to your right. There's a guy in the dugout every inning, every hitter, I mean, you know, positioning them. And it might be that 2 steps you take to your right that gives you just enough to get there and make that play look easy.
Yeah, you got to pay attention. But you can also see how your guy's throwing. And moving counts. You know, now you see a pretty good count, 2-0 hitters count. You may want to move over a step or 2 to the pull side, knowing that that guy's going to try and then get his pitch and hit a homer. Especially somebody that has 23 home runs on the year. It all comes down to common sense, paying attention, and watching your hitters, and knowing your pitcher.
We saw with Jason Kipnis earlier. He got a 3-1 count. He was looking to do one thing. If he gets a pitch middle in, he's going to try to get the barrel out and crush it.
And he did just that.
There goes Raj. Throw to second. Not in time. He's off and running. He'll go to third. So stolen base. The error charged to Narvaez. The throw, not a good one. And a runner is 90 feet away with 2 down.
Now you see Raj has been around long enough. He knows in this 2-0 count he's got to try and concentrate on throwing a strike. He wasn't as quick to the plate, and the ball was down a little bit. Not an easy pitch for Narvaez to throw on. And once it gets into center field, he goes. The second error of the game for the White Sox, and give the Indians their second stolen base. How about that? 11. Good for him. 20 stolen bases, and he hasn't had that much playing time.
Not a good call there, but it's 2-2 now for Alonso. That looked like it was above the strike zone. Yonder's a guy that likes the ball up, but not quite that far up. And then he throws one down out of the zone, strikes him out. So we'll go to the 9th. 5-3 Cleveland. in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Ninth inning, and Andrew Miller on to try and close this one out for the Indians.
Well, the amazing thing for Andrew, this is his first appearance against the White Sox this year. So he's coming on. He's going to face Moncada, Engel, and then back to the top of the lineup, Sanchez. They're the scheduled hitters. Corey Kluber, 8 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs allowed, 11 punch-outs, a couple of walks.
Brandon Barnes, your new right fielder. And a first pitch strike. Just a bit outside. Swung over the top of that breaking ball. Foul on the right side.
Moncada, a better hitter from the left side of the plate. Right-handed, he's a 194 hitter.
Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the one pitch a lot of times right-handers will swing at or chase after, that breaking ball coming down and in.
Got him looking. Fastball away and just froze him. 1 down. Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game. Yanni Diaz, a 2-run single through the right side of that drawn-in infield, and that made it 5-0.
Boy, he stayed back and hit a nice line drive. That was a big hit in this ball game. It's nice to see him get an opportunity in the middle part of that lineup, and he's done remarkable with driving in runners in scoring position.
Wellington Castillo pinch hitting for Adam Engel with 1 out here in the 9th. I asked Terry Francona before the game if he looked at Miller, Hand, and Allen as interchangeable in the back end of the bullpen, or if he wanted each guy to maybe have a specific role. Talking more about like how he would use them in a postseason setting. And he said, you know, they're all 3, they have unique skill sets. So he said, I want to try to use them in situations where they have the best chance to match up. Now, he said it might not always work out that way, but basically what he was saying is there's no set. You're the 7th, you're the 8th, you're the 9th. He's going to look at how the other team's lineup looks. That got away from Gomes. Castillo barely swung at that ball.
It was so late, it looked like it went off Gomes' glove. He'll get the strikeout, but I think on the pass ball, you're going to see it get to the screen, and he's going to reach first base. See, it was almost like a check swing, and Gomes, for whatever reason, he didn't hold on to it. And Castillo able to reach first base, so they'll get a pinch runner for him, and now that can get the tying run to the plate. And he was very tardy on that one.
I wonder if the swing did sort of
blocked out Gomes.
Yeah,
could have. So I'm sure that was a pass ball, correct, Tommy? Yes.
So credit Miller with his 2nd strikeout, but 1 down in the inning for Yolmer Sanchez. And he's blew it by. How about that at 96 miles an hour?
But I know what he's saying. It all depends on the matchups, you know, depending on, you know, they have track records and they're all veterans. So, I mean, that's a good thing when it comes to that. You need them all throwing the way they're capable of throwing. So that would help. And I'll tell you what.
97.
How about him reaching back, baby? That looks good. That's the hardest we've seen him throw since he's been back. But it's not how hard, it's the location of it is what it is.
And he's peppering the outside corner with it.
Because his slider is so good. If he that fastball, people are always looking slider.
And that slider got away, but not far enough.
This could be another thing. I'll tell you what. Gomes not being able to catch it must be telling you that ball was moving.
Yeah.
That's another thing that it tells me. Because Yan Gomes is excellent back there. And there's the slider, and it goes off, and he doesn't catch it cleanly.
Yeah, and that wasn't in the dirt. That tells you how much that thing was moving.
Correct.
Swung out and missed. Hayes struck him out.
How about that? He has 3.
2 down.
He has a chance to get 4 strikeouts in an inning. This is the back foot slider after you throw a 97. That, to me, that's where right-handers are overmatched. You have to get the bat started, and by the time it gets to you, it's not going to be a strike, and you're overmatched.
Well, these are the little things that Terry Francona, his staff, the front office guys, these are the little things they're looking for down the stretch. The 1-0. To see if Andrew Miller is back to where they think he can get to, and it looks like, based on what we've seen tonight, he's very close if he's not already there. And I think, as we said before, with him, Cody Allen's been in every imaginable situation. He's got nerves of steel. You trust him in those tough spots. And the addition of Brad Hand gives you another weapon to use out of the bullpen. 2-0 swung out and missed. And Tito even said, don't forget about Oliver Perez. He said, I can match him up if need be in certain situations. So
you say that, but you're looking at 3 lefties and only the 1 right-hander.
Yeah.
Talking about that late in the ball game. Not that it matters.
Like you just said, Miller, he's tougher on right-handers maybe than he is on lefties.
Yeah, I think so.
Though he's no walk in the park for left-handers. Here's the set now, and the 2-1 is blooped toward right. Ramirez going after it, just beyond his reach. So Anderson fights it off and keeps the White Sox hopes alive. And now Miller will have to face the slugger Daniel Palka.
That ball got down on the trademark. I'm not so sure that he didn't bust his bat, but you can see just out of the reach of Ramirez. With 2 outs, the inning is still alive. And he struck out 3, but the inning's still alive because of the pass ball. That's how Castillo reached.
Palka homered in the 6th. Weak ground ball hit to third. Donaldson will go to first. Put it in the books, baby. Indians win it 5-3. Corey Kluber, a new career high 19 wins on the year. And Andrew Miller converts the save. His 2nd on the year. With the wins, the Indians are now 84-66. They've won all 7 against Chicago here in Cleveland. They're 11-3 on the year against the White Sox. Chicago now 52-91. The loss to Carlos Rodon, he is 6-6 on the season. Boy, I tell you one thing, Arch. We sort of began the night talking about the fact that the Indians have already wrapped up the division. Now they're just looking to try and tighten things up, and that is a huge step in the right direction for one Andrew Miller in that bullpen.
It sure was. He came out, the velocity that he was throwing with tonight was very nice. Really good work, and he can go back-to-back days. They pitched him this last time out back-to-back innings. So you're right. It's time to tighten things up, and I think they did a really good job tonight. Kluber came out, pitched his 8 innings, had 11 strikeouts. Give the White Sox credit. They came back out, and they had an opportunity here in the 9th inning, even though he had 3 strikeouts in the inning. So good way to get this series started is on the right note.
No doubt about it. 5-3 is the final. Back with some final thoughts right after this.